And it should go back live and not kick you. But we'll see, man. We'll fucking see. 0 viewers. Whoa, I got a tip. Okay. So there you go. VLR's tip came in. Is this a new stream? We were kicked. Why? What the fuck? It actually ends the stream when I do that. That's horrible. I fucking hate this shit. I actually fucking hate this. God damn it, Streamlabs. Why does Streamlabs suck so much? I really like OBS. I really don't like Streamlabs. Okay, let me do this. With cam up and media share up. I got this, and I got that, and I accept this from you, and I click show video, and I click play, and it doesn't fucking play. Does not play. Show video, hide video. Go to settings. Yeah, take me to fucking settings for media share, man. Widget settings, price settings, maximum seconds, the time between videos, progress bar enabled, spam security. Let me just add, hold on. Add browser source. General, it's a browser source. Browser source, add source. And add new source instead. Browser source, media share. And the URL is this, which I will copy and paste. And then I will close. And so that's the browser source media share that is up, and this media share is down. Okay. So then this is the media share that's up, and we go to media share. We go here. Recent events. Previewing doesn't do it. Media share. Show video. Bingo, okay. But it doesn't show up on my thing. Cannot perform this action until the widget is opened. Media share cannot perform this action until the widget is opened. I mean, I made the source happen, right? So if I have to turn this on, and that'll make it work? Is that literally it? Cannot perform this action until the widget is open. Let me refresh. Accept all. Okay. Test widgets donation. Oh. Hold on. Hide video. Show video. There we go. Now, I can't play it in the YouTube browser. Fuck. That sucks. I can play it here, though. Yeah. I can play it through here. It's just balls. It's just the smallest video. Okay. So that's working. ABO, okay. Should I commit seppuku? No, please. I love it. This is... No sound again. So there's actually no sound coming through? That's really interesting, because I thought the media share would directly put sound through. But it does not. Are you sure? Okay, so no sound here. There was no sound while that was playing? Pixar? Okay. No sounds. Great. I'm going to turn sound on. Tell me if it's double sound. Tell me if it's single sound or double sound. Yes. I got your second donation, VLR. It's next. Single sound? Yeah. All right, let's fucking go. So this is close. Okay, that's the next one. And then wait, it should have just gone to the next queued one, and it didn't. There it goes.
All right, so this is the thumbnail board for The Power, which was the first episode that aired of regular show. It was the second board that I boarded when I was trying to get the show picked up. And it's been a couple years now, so I'm gonna pitch it. Hopefully I don't mess it up too bad. And there's a lot of stuff in here
Sick.
that's left over that eventually got cut for time. So
What are we doing? We are media sharing, Cyber Joker.
Never made it. So
Hold on.
here we go. The Power.
Pause. Let me pause this. The tips page. Tips page. What are we doing? It works. It does work. It is shitty though. I had to zoom in on the screen on the video of it to make it effective, but it does work, and I won't have to fuck around and make so many streams in the future. So there's the tips page. If you want to go throw me $1, you can throw me $1 and a video off of YouTube that you want me to watch, and it'll go in the queue, and I'll decide whether I want to watch it based on my own discretion.
We start on a TV. There's a dude
But
wrestling. And
I can share it with you.
Elbow twice before jumping down and like slamming on a dude, and then we pan over to Rigby, and he's like, "All right, Beef Burrito, I'm gonna give you one more chance to take back what you said about my mom." We cut to this wrestling doll, and it's not doing anything, and he's like offended. "I'll kill you!" And he slaps his wrist, and then he jumps down, and he hits a trampoline and springs off of it and lands on the
Fantastic.
dummy and starts beating the out of it, and then he like rolls over it all, and he like elbow drops it. And then he raises it up, and then all of a sudden, like, his hand is moving the hand like he's struggling with it, and it punches him in the face twice. And he's like, "Oh!" And he looks over, and Mordecai's back on the bed. "Tag up, tag up!" And Rigby stumbles along, and he tags Mordecai, and Mordecai goes off. And then we cut to Rigby, and he's like pounding a soda, and he just spikes it, and he's like, "Ah!" And Mordecai like through. Mordecai sets the ball up next to the bed, and we see that like Mordecai's climbing up on a filing cabinet, and Rigby turns, and he's like, "What?" And the doll doesn't say anything.
Nutty.
"Oh, you want us to put the hurt on you?" And it's like still doing nothing. "I think he wants me to put the hurt on him. I think he wants you to put the hurt on him. You think he wants me to put the hurt on him? Yes, I do." Ah, ah, ah. And Mordecai like chokes him really hard against the trampoline, and he like boing, whew, slips through, and he hits the wall really hard. He totally misses the doll, and he falls into a trash can. All these cans fall out, and he tips over. He's like, "Oh, yeah. Did you see how awesome it was when I hit the trampoline?" "Yeah, I did. But it wasn't as awesome as when you punched that hole in the wall." And then they have a beat, and they look, and then there's a big hole in the wall, and a piece of drywall like hits the ground, and they both like, "Ah!" scream. We cut to the outside of the house, and we cut to the bedroom door, and Rigby peeks out to see if anybody heard them, and Mordecai's in there. "Not good, not good. I can't believe I listened to you. I knew I should have gone out to do some work, but no, let's wrestle this stupid doll, it'll be fun." "But it was fun." "Well, yeah, but now there's a big hole in the wall." "Dude, we're 23 years old. We shouldn't be busting holes in walls.
That's about right.
We're gonna get fired for this."
No.
"Ooh, what do you think we should do?" "I don't know, man. We can't fix it, and we definitely can't pay for it because we don't have any money. Well, unless you have some money." "No, I spent my whole paycheck on that trampoline."
Of course.
Besides, I don't even know how much it costs to fix a hole like this. Probably a ton. Exactly. Which leaves us with only one possible solution.
Run the fuck away.
Convince Benson to give us raises so we can afford to pay somebody else to fix it. He like slowly looks down as he's saying it, and Rigby's like, "Dude, you're a genius." "Of course, raises. Yeah. He's like, okay, here's what we gotta do. But Rigby stops him. Let me stop you right there, because I already know what you're gonna say. Ham boning. What? Yeah, dude, ham boning. It's a very effective negotiation technique.
Not somebody putting a hole in the wall and no one be worried. Yep.
If you ham bone the hell out of it, we just go up to Vincent and we'll be all like, we both want raises. And he starts like slapping himself. And he like starts going up on Mordecai, slapping him. He's like, no man, stop it.
That's not gonna work.
Be serious about this. We just need to ask him for a raise and explain to him all the things we do around here to deserve a raise. No, 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 that's not gonna work.
No
What,
chance.
Are you 65?
Stupid.
Excuse me, sir, can I have a raise? Come on, I'm telling you, dude. Ham boning. And Mordecai's like, no. Ham boning will save your life someday. It'll be all like, what, you trying to mug me? And he just starts slapping again. And Mordecai's like, no, we're not doing that, okay? Okay? Fine. And they kind of like sigh and have a thought. And then Rigby gets an idea. And he runs off screen. Yes, what? And he's like rooting through his laundry that he slips
hello.
in. And Mordecai's like, what are you doing? And he comes
Random
back with a
human
keyboard.
who's just standing there.
Are you ready for raises? Boop, 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 boop. He's doing that with his
No.
And Mordecai's like, whoa, how'd you get that? I sent the cereal company like 1,000 box tops and they sent me this. Cool. But how'd you get so many box tops? I have my methods. And we like dissolve back and we see Pops coming into the house. He's like, I noticed we were low on cereal, so I took the automobile to the grocers and purchased some. And then all of a sudden Rigby just comes in and starts slapping the hell out of him. And he's just like, hey, can I have your box tops, Pops? And he's like, oh, take the ball, take the ball.
Just ham boning wildly.
Like, and then Mordecai's like, I don't know, dude, how's that gonna get us raises? Oh, come on, man. Look, before you say no, just come check this out. And they put it down and he like...
Okay. So, well, that's fun and interesting. Regular Show is not one of the cartoons that I was exposed to, and for obvious reasons. By obvious reasons, I mean I don't watch cartoons, and never did, and was restricted from them. And so when I ended up seeking them out, I didn't seek out the ones that are just entertaining. I just sought out the ones that were like really empowering and powerful. And so what we see in the Regular Show that he presents is a really fun little dynamic of mentally generated faux characters, like faux archetypes, micro archetypes of foolishness and youthfulness and sort of that dumb kid energy. That's really good. That's really good. Hope this one was worth the money. Absolutely, far more so than the first one. The first one with a man screaming in the Japongese was like, what the fuck, dude? Why did you send that? This one actually made some sense and was like, yeah, okay, solid, good, very good. More importantly, it fucking worked, right? Like, you donated or you tipped. The dollars came in. It did the little ding-a-ling thing down there. Which I want to switch out because I've got a good GIF of tea pouring, so I'll switch it out for a GIF of tea pouring and a little sound bite that I have that's like of like water pouring or tea pouring. I'll set that up as the tip donation thing instead, and then be able to do that this way. Let me see. I can also just add things to the media share for myself and use that as the mode of bringing the content to you, which is pretty effective. Full video is 15 minutes. Highly recommend watching it. Oh, I super will not do that. We'll just do, I want a short video on focus, and I want the most powerful one, so I want view count maximal. Great. So I'm gonna grab it from a shitty place. So I'm grabbing it from a shitty place. Video may be inappropriate for some users. I don't give a fuck. Current queue, add media. This one. Duration seconds, add. I don't care. Wait for it. READABO. Okay. What is that? What does it say? I actually can't read what it says. This video is age restricted and only available on YouTube. Wow. That's shitey. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, lad. It shouldn't be an age-restricted video, you know. It really shouldn't be. But that's alright. I'll go back a little bit, and I'll grab something else that's quite similar. Next up, that 2 steps from Helvid, I kid. I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I cannot. That's by Be Inspired. I don't want that. I don't want that. Huberman Morning. Oh, this is useful. I'll just grab this. I just want to see if I can add this into the Streamlabs dashboard effectively to make this a part of the thing. Add media, this one, start time at 0, add media, and it comes up immediately. For 300 seconds, so that's the maximum that it can be is 300 seconds because I set it that way. Okay, so hold on, settings, go to settings. Maximum, let me just put 0 and save settings so that there's no maximum because I can always skip, so it doesn't matter too much. And then let me remove this, and then let me add video, add media, add a link, start time and duration 0, 0 for 0 seconds there, and show video. Hide video, show video. Wait, what? Yeah, that one isn't available. I understand. Previous media. That other one isn't available. That one isn't available. Remove. Add. Oh, I guess that's what I have to do. Settings. Max duration. 1800 seconds. So, save settings. Okay, so long duration. Hide video. Add media. Add this. Add the thing. Detected to have licensed content in it. Please play at your own risk. Entirely fine by me. Show video. Okay, it always pops up with the other one, with the wrong one. Widget was closed abruptly, stopping media. There we go. Okay, great. So that shows it. Hide video, show video. And it's still fucking restricted. Why?
Morning routine is...
Can you remove it from the queue? I can remove videos from the queue. I have removed the video that's supposed to be removed. I have removed it from the queue, and it refuses to remove itself from the queue. Basically, is essentially what we're dealing with here, folks. It's weird as shit. Remove video. Great. Hide video, show video. See, it still shows this other one, which is incorrect. So let me close this. Close this, close this, close this, close this, close this. Turn off the widget. Turn on the widget. Now the widget is Bustando, which is good. And if I click this, this should pop up media share and recent events and stuff as its own widgety thing. And then I should be able to show video. Oh, it worked. Sort of. Show video, hide video, but I have to click this one to get into here. God, it's so many layers of stupid. Show video. Add media. Just let me add this. Add. Not that one. That one's busted. Okay, so that's stupid and done and dumb. And then this, let me go to here, and I can close this, and media share off, media share on, and back into it. Open it up anew. Okay, it's opened up anew. Add media, that one. Add. 576 seconds. Has stuff in it, that's totally fine. Show the video, it pops up, and I can't play it. What if I get it over here? Can I play it once it's in browser? In browser for recent events. The thing isn't moving. Remove video. Previous media. This one. Replay it. Current queue. See, that's not even in the queue anymore. It's just broken. Duration 500. Start time 000. Add. That's the link to it. Show video. But it doesn't show up here. Why not? Why not? Why not? Well, let me add a simpler video then. What if I do browser media share instead? Like so. No, the widget won't be active, will be what will happen. Why is the widget not active? What the fuck? But when I play it, I can only play it here and I can't play it in the main. It just doesn't connect. Test widgets. Donation. Okay. Super chat. Great. God damn it. Okay, remove from queue. See, but then it keeps it in the fucking queue, which it should not do at all, ever. One bit. Done. Done. Previous media. This one. READABO. Okay. Just gonna grab a stupid video. What happened to Brew 26? I see that it's missing. I don't know if it's actually missing. It might not be. It's quite likely that it's not missing and it's just in a different place. Or that it's mislabeled. Okay, well, this is broken. I think I actually have to end the stream in order to make it work. I'm just going to experiment with a bunch of this more. It would be wrong of me to keep you all here as though I'm doing something valuable in the stream right now. Because, frankly, I'm not. I'm just messing around with features and stuff, and it's a waste of your time for me to do this online with you guys. However, this is stuff that I deeply want to figure out, and will go and do so literally right now is the goal. I'm going to turn this stupid mecha of mine into a legitimately powerful streaming setup. And I don't know how the fuck to do it, so it's going to take a lot of work. So, thank you for bearing with me while I did the stupid things that I've been doing. And for those of you who hopped from one stream to another, I really appreciate it. And I hope not to cause that in the future. Because, well, I hope not to cause it in the future. Let me actually, hold on. Let me remove the browser source media share, because as soon as I added that, everything went to fuck. Everything went to fuck. And then I'll try one more time. I'll just try one more time. With that having ended. Cannot perform this until the widget is opened. Ah, the widget was not opened. Oh, it's working now. Show video, add media. That's the stupid memes video. Great. What if I do this? What if I grab the Huberman? Because that's actually what I want. I want to show. I want to watch it through quickly. Senpai. How? Add. Yep, that one. Next. Wait for it. And it's up. And can we play it?
What does your morning routine look like at the moment?
Morning routine is
Holy shit,
wake
we
up.
can do it. It works.
Round about what time?
I'm waking up these days around 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. I'm trying to go to sleep by about 10:30 p.m.
If I close this, is it still working?
Sometimes it's 11, sometimes
It is
it's
still
10.
working.
I wake up, and I have to be careful here because whenever I've described my routine in a little bit of detail, people always say, "I can't believe you don't go to the bathroom." And it's like, well, of course, so I want to
put
be
my pants on,
yeah,
I put my
exactly,
socks
right
on.
foot, left foot. So I
Yeah.
want to be clear. I take care of
Whoa,
my
something
basic
crazy just
functions.
happened. Okay, that was weird.
But when I
Hold
wake
on, I'm
up,
gonna break
I
it.
make a beeline.
That'll break it completely. And then it unbreaks it to break it and unbreak it. I see. Hide video, show video. And then that pops it up, and then I can play it here.
What does your morning routine look like?
Okay.
Morning routine
I understand. I had
is
fucked up the widget.
Wake up. If I
Round about what time?
I'm waking up these days around 6 a.m., 6:30
No such time as 6
I'm
a.m.?
trying to
Yeah,
go
I
to
know.
sleep by about
I've never seen it.
10:30 p.m. Sometimes it's 11, sometimes it's 10. I wake up. And I have to be careful here because whenever I've described my routine in a little bit of detail, people always say, "I can't believe you don't go to the bathroom." And it's like, well, of course, so I want to be
my pants on,
exactly, right
on.
foot, left foot. So I want to be clear. I take care of my
basics
functions. But when I wake up, I make a beeline for sunlight. So I'm going to get sunlight in my eyes I'll probably go into the grave saying this, so forgive me if people have heard me say this before, but the single best thing you can do for your sleep, your energy, your mood, your wakefulness, your metabolism is to get natural light in your eyes early in the day. Don't wear sunglasses to do it.
Not through a window.
10 minutes or so. If you live in a cloudy area, if you're in the UK in the winter, yes.
Or the summer,
maybe you resort to some artificial light as a replacement, but as much as one can, get bright, natural, and if not natural, artificial light in your eyes early in the day without sunglasses. Contacts and
white LEDs are effective.
Eyeglasses are fine. Don't try and do it through a window or windshield. It's going to take far too long. This sets in motion a huge number of different neurobiological and hormonal cascades that are good for you.
Extremely
reduces
good for you.
Stress late at night, offsets cortisol, a million different things really that are good for you. So I get that.
Yeah.
And yes,
and
does that walk?
I'll pause and I'll just say, and anecdotally, I will say that it just works for everything. Hikori says, unless you are nocturnal like me, sunlight makes me tired and gives me my best sleep when on my face. Yeah, that's because you're broken, bud.
Ideally, that would be a walk.
That's not the norm.
Sometimes we'll just go into the yard and have some coffee.
I think we've discussed this before.
Soak in whatever sunlight.
I'm gonna stay the line there and say that you're not special. You're broken.
If it's a very bright day, it might just be a few minutes. But really, the quality studies on humans that have looked at this say try and get as much natural light as you can in the morning hours, whenever it is that is for you, especially the first 3 hours after waking. If you can work outside, great. If you can get near a window, because as opposed to just in a dark conference room, that's better. But if you can get outside, that would be fantastic. So I get sunlight. I hydrate.
Okay, but the Mayo Clinic is shit for most
mate
things.
is my favorite form of coffee. Caffeine.
Are you waiting? How long are you waiting from?
I understand there are people who are off cycle, but that's a thing to fix.
I am a fan of water with element.
Yep.
Before I had element packets, I would just take a little bit of sea salt or pink salt.
What's your favorite element flavor?
I like them all. There's one I don't like.
And you're not one of them, probably, Kikori.
Yeah, some people.
You're really
love it.
probably not
My
one of them.
podcast
You're probably
producer,
broken.
His wife loves that, so I give it to her, the chocolate mint one. But I like the raspberry.
If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But you should really try fixing your shit.
I love that stuff.
Mango chili is. Have you opened the mango chili and breathed in shortly afterwards? It's like being pepper sprayed.
No,
it's absolutely insane. It's like being blasted in the face. But yeah, I mean that's just the best way. That cold glass of water and that first thing in the morning. And I mean it was you who reassured me of what I thought was Neuroscience about your adenosine system not being active for the first 90 minutes.
Okay, but there's literally endless evidence that humans are not nocturnal. Literally endless. Millions and millions, billions and billions of people. The chances that you are special are almost zero. Fix your shit.
Onto that.
If you've done all the things to fix your shit, which I know that you haven't, then you can tell me that you're actually nocturnal and you need to be special. But you're probably not special, man.
You're not really actually acting on that. Your adrenal system is the one that you need to be looking at, optimal hydration, all that sort of stuff. It's just such a good way to start the day. So, okay, we've got 90 minutes deep. What have you been doing in that? You've had your light in the eyes. What have you been doing?
Yes, Fleur, cold showers in the morning work great too as an element, and the reason for that is because they force a warming of the core body temperature. You can reverse that in the humans used to be nocturnal, pre-human. It's just, no, that is not true. That is not true. Sorry, bud. You're reading bullshit. That's not true. We are light-based creatures. We are diurnal. Most mammals are too, for clear and obvious reasons. Because there's sunlight. Because you can see. Primates are not nocturnal, in general. We are light-based creatures. We feed off of the sun. We are it's like fire is what allowed us to conquer the night. We conquered the night. We did not come from it.
Between that and the yerba mate 90 minutes.
I do everything I can.
Yeah. So no caffeine for 90 minutes. Crucial. Mammals used to be nocturnal. Where are you getting this, dude? Where are you getting this?
Email, not do social media, and to take care of a few critical tasks. These days, I have this obsession with trying to do one cognitively hard thing a day, and one physically hard thing a day. Now, it does not extreme physical, not David Goggins level workouts or anything, but in that 90 minutes, I'll typically try and read a research article start to finish, or I'll work on
primate
a document
ancestors
that
are
I'm
the
doing
ones
a grant or
right,
research paper, or planning a podcast or researching
pre-human
a podcast.
evolution. Right. What I'm saying is primates, where we came from, our monkeys are strictly diurnal. Monkey, strictly diurnal. Now, little rats running around the dinosaurs, sure, fine, whatever. Primates, our closest ancestors, are strictly diurnal. They live in the light. It's so that you can see. We are inherently afraid of the dark. It's built into all of us. The chances that you are nocturnal are almost zero, man. You want to feel special, and you're probably not. Whatever works for you is going to work, but I'll bet you dollars to donuts that waking up when the sun comes up and going to sleep when the sun goes down will make your life better. I'll bet you dollars to donuts.
Brain into kind of a linear mode. I try and narrow that aperture. Because if I don't, the distraction that's created by social media and interactions with others can kind of wick out.
Sorry, VLR says diurnal literally always existed since land-based creatures. That's not entirely true. Kikuri's not entirely wrong. There is evidence that there were significant nocturnal mammals in the time of the dinosaurs, because there were lots of snakes to eat you. However, as our ancestors became more advanced and became monkey, which they were for millions and millions and millions of years, and which our primary chassis is built upon, we've been diurnal. We need the day. Is dollars to donuts a saying? Yes, it is. All you have to do is, if you ever come up against something like that, type in idiom, IDIOM, dollars to donuts. And what comes up is, it's what we say when we're really sure of ourselves. We're so confident that we're making a bet. We're betting something valuable against something that's worth less. If I'm wrong, I'll pay you money. If you're wrong, just give me a pastry. Give me a donut. That's what dollars to donuts means, is if I'm wrong, I'll give you money. But if you're wrong, buy me a coffee. Right? Like something simple. Because I'm pretty fucking confident in this one, because we are all on the same biological framework. It's like if you came to me and you said, "Well, I'm different. I don't have a rib cage." It's like, "Wow, that's probably not true, man. That's probably not true. I'm different. My bones are on the outside." Doubt it. Dollars to donuts. I fucking doubt it. Like, oh, my heart controls my body, not my brain. It's like, really? That's an interesting thought that you have there. That's an interesting supposition. There are actually some nocturnal primates in the world at the moment. You're seeking exceptions, right? Going and seeking exceptions to prove your point. Okay.
Out into the rest of the day. So I'm not necessarily trying to finish something in that time, but I try and
Lemurs
do
and loris
something
forms, yes.
challenging. I experience great
Big eyes.
pleasure.
Big eye
from
babies. Bush babies
battling
with the
through
beautiful
something
big
mentally
eyes.
challenging. But that's something that I built up since my university years, when I was about 19 or so, got serious about school and really started to experience the deep
Push for
pleasure.
challenge.
Like, I figured that out, or like, that was really tough. I don't always succeed, but that's what I'm doing in that hour to 90 minutes. But I confess, sometimes we'll take a walk during that time and maybe talk through some things that are challenging, or sometimes I get lazy and I'll miss a day of that cognitive challenge. Then I do caffeine about 90 to 120 minutes after waking. And
I have to get better
even
at
though I
that.
prefer to work out earlier, I generally will then do some sort of physical workout. I have a very consistent routine. I've done it for 30 years, where I weight train for 45 or minutes to an hour every other day. And occasionally I take an extra day off. And occasionally, due to travel or other commitments, I'll occasionally double up 2 days and then take 2 days off.
Yep.
So
What are you eating? It's
really
my,
boring,
my overnight
talk about
oats.
workout schedules, but it's really simple. It's like,
So I'll just pause and I'll
do-
mention this. I've been doing this every day. Is at night I go and I make my oats. So I just pour some oatmeal into one of these jars. And then I pour a bunch of add-ins. Basically, all you need is oats and some kind of milk product. I've been using plant-based milk, so I've been using flax milk and macadamia nut milk. And they're great. They work lovely. But then I do like 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, like a half a cup of oats, a cup of macadamia milk or flax milk or milk. I don't give a shit. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. And then I'll add some extra things. So I add some goji berries, some cacao nibs, anything that you really like, some seeds, some dried fruit, whatever you wanted, you could put in there. Some dense berries, a little bit of jelly or a jam or a preserve or something like that could work. A little bit of honey. Stir that up. I put it in the microwave for a couple of minutes until it's warm, not hot, but like warmed, which is to help the oats soak up the stuff. And then, because I don't like microwaving protein powder, I'll mix in a scoop of protein powder, of whey protein, and I'll just mix that in and add a little bit more macadamia milk or whatever if I have to add some more in. And whatever other toppings or flavorings that I want, and I'll put that all together. I just close it up, and I haven't even been putting it in the fridge. I've just been putting it on a shelf, and I leave it there overnight. And overnight, the oats soak in the milk product stuff, and all of the flavors sort of homogenize, so it becomes one mess. And the goji berries that I put in there get plumped out and become less chewy, and the whole thing becomes like 800 plus calories of deliciousness. I've been struggling with my weight for a while, and I thought it was because of exercise. I finally got on an exercise routine this year, but it made me realize nutrition is a big factor as well. The biggest factor. There's a common saying that is, abs get made in the kitchen, not in the gym, and it's absolutely true. Your body fat percentage is in large part a factor of your diet habits, your nutritional habits, and mostly getting enough of the right kinds of nutrition is how I think about it. That said, you also want to be moving, because if you move, it engages your metabolic function differently. And if you move, you tell your body to put the nutrients that you're giving it into the things that are useful, which is like, no, we need to be doing work now. We're not saving our energy for later to work on stuff later, which is what your body wants to do. Your body's like, well, I don't have to work right now, so I'll save it for later. And that means fat, right? And you have to go, no, buddy. We work all the time. We work now, we work tomorrow, we work the day after that. And so you tell it that you're working by working. And you work by moving heavy things. And moving things many times. And moving heavy things. And moving heavy things many times. And moving heavier things. And your body's a pretty heavy thing, so move your body around. And then get really good at moving your body around. And then go find heavier things and move those around. And if you do that, you're going to gain muscle mass. And muscle burns fat, burns calories. Remember, if you work out, you'll put on weight. Yeah, ignore the scale weight unless you're doing something scale weight specific. You need to be doing... I like to structure workouts around goals that aren't based in how you look or feel or exist, but what you can do. Goals in terms of space within which you can dance. And I'll bring this up because I was talking to a friend today. This is a friend who just got a second job, who's working 2 jobs because he's in a hard spot financially, but he's working his ass off to make ends meet, and it's awesome. And he was saying, man, working out has really changed the way that I'm able to work, because he's got this job as a food runner, and he's able to carry trays of food back and forth with no sweat, no stress. But he said the other day, one of the girls came to me and was like, hey, I need help. We need more avocados from up there. Can you get that box down? And there's a fucking giant tub of avocados on a top shelf. And he pulls up, and in the moment that the tub comes back off of the shelf, it starts to go back behind him. And he's got his hands on it. And he knew what to do. He braced his legs, pushed it up against the thing, and slowly lowered it down carefully until he could get his hands on it and deal. And he had this moment, because he expressed it to me, he had this moment that was like, if I hadn't been training, that would have been a very different experience, because that was a life flash before my eyes sort of moment. That was like 100 pounds of avocados over my head, and I was capable of moving them. And if I hadn't been able to know what that weight felt like on my shoulders, I might have dropped that on my head, or I might have let my shoulders go backward and pulled my shoulder out of its socket and destroyed my body. The fact that I trained made me more capable of a real world task. And it's like, yeah, literally more resilient, because that is a moment that could have ruined his life forever. We don't think about this too much, but your shoulder gets ripped out of its socket. There are some things that can't be replaced, that really can't be replaced ever. It's like, well, there goes any career in art that you wanted, because your fine articulation in the hand is never going to be the same again. And there goes any ability that you have to play the basic sports that you like, because throwing stuff is going to be impossible with that shoulder. And there goes, he's got a kid. It's like, oh, you wanted to play catch with your kid? Too fucking bad, buddy. You broke your shoulder, and it's never going to be the same again. And so it's going to hurt you every time you play catch with your son. Much better to be strong. Much better to be resilient. Much better to be capable. VLR says, my goal is being able to run a half marathon again. Sick. Make a bigger goal. Make a bigger goal. Now, I don't mean that that's a bad goal. That's a great goal. But hitting the bar of where you were before, let's get beyond it, man. Let's get beyond it. How about a full? How about run Boston? Right? Like, how about a stupid goal? How about run an ultra? How about run a blank K? How about fucking kill it? Or a different type of goal. The kind of goal that's like, well, I was able to run a half marathon. I know I could do that again. So I want to be able to run a half marathon and the other parts of a try, right? I want to be able to swim the distance for a try, and I want to be able to bike the distance for a try, and then go and do a half a try or something like that, and do a half triathlon and expand yourself. Or go, well, a half marathon is one thing, but what about a half marathon with mud and obstacles? And then go find one of those Spartan races and run it, right? And do a bigger goal. I know how it feels, says Fleur. Got nerve damage on my hand last year. Haven't been able to play volleyball for like 14 months now. Fuck. See, that's the shit that we're talking about here. That's death of a part of you. That's not okay. And so making yourself resilient so that no other parts of you can get dead like that, real important. And I'm all for it. All for it. All right, I'm going to finish this video.
Do a kind of pushing day, rest, pulling day, upper body push, up, rest, upper body pull, rest, and then legs, take 2 days off. Something
Spartan
like that.
races are rad. Find one.
Off days, are you doing some sort of zone 3?
Always jogging.
Like, I don't know where you live, but all you have to do is type in Spartan race country of origin, Spartan race state of origin, and find one within an hour of you, probably. There are probably 5 this month. There are humans around you, and some of those humans have figured out that exercise matters, and some of them are like, let's go all do the thing. This is the thing that we should all be going and doing. And you could join them. And they would probably welcome you. Because in my experience, people who have gotten into that kind of a mindset of self-improvement, they love pulling other people in. You might find an amazing group of friends. You don't know. Go get it. Go fucking get it, dude.
Or skipping rope. Those are my favorite forms of cardio.
Would love to do some heavy lifting stuff, but I'm hesitant because even a small amount of weights will mess my back after an accident I had. That is the opposite of the way to think about it. Lift the weights because your back is fucked. Strengthen your fucking back. That's the answer.
I'm swimming, but typically I'll go running for.
I know a number of people with multiple hip replacements, other trapped nerve near my spine. Got it. The best thing that you can do for your spine is to put a bunch of strong muscle around it. And the best way to do that is to load your entire spine with weight.
For 30 to 45 minutes.
Safely, if you can.
Or if I'm feeling a little bit lazier, because I always find the high intensity stuff to be easier than the long drawn out stuff. I'll sometimes throw on a weight vest, 30 or 50 pound weight vest, and I'll go out for a shorter run. Or
my leg has stopped working 3 times.
Ben Patrick, I know you had him on.
Yeah, great guy.
We were down in Costa Rica with him and his wife, who had the best time and learned so.
I understand. Yeah, you pinched a nerve completely off. If you don't fix that, it's going to be permanent. And you fix it by pushing through it. Couldn't feel it was like it didn't exist. Yeah, you pinched the nerve off completely. I understand. Terrifying. Unfazed. You do it anyway. If you don't move that area of your spine, that will be permanent forever. You will never have that leg again. You'll lose it one day and it will never come back. If you do the work, you can bring it back.
So much. I'll occasionally do a backwards, hill walk, or throw on the weight vest for that.
But if you stay away from it and you let that dragon grow, that dragon's going to grow and it's going to eat you.
We will sometimes get 2 people in one of these thick bands, do hill walks in the morning while getting our sunlight.
Yeah.
But that I don't really consider a workout. I consider that just kind of rehabilitate as a movement. So on the off days, I'm doing cardio. And sometimes that's in the morning, sometimes that's in the evening. I do not like to weight train in the second half of the day because I like to be really caffeinated when I weight train. I like to listen to loud, fast music. most of the time, not always. I keep my phone out or off for most workouts. Podcasts maybe if I'm running, but I really try hard when I'm working out to just focus on the workout. And those workouts, the weight training workouts, are always 10 minutes or so of warm up, and then no more than 40 to 50 minutes of really hard work. If I do train hard any longer, I don't recover enough to be able to come in a few days later. And when I train that way, I generally make pretty consistent progress.
And you're taking yourself up until, what's that, probably maybe 10, 30, 11 a.m., something like that?
Yeah, and then I'll
by
eat
training
my
with a
first real
specialist.
Meal. Now,
Yeah,
occasionally I'll wake up.
that is absolutely something to say, is that, Corey, I'm not a physiotherapist. But there are great physiotherapists, and you should get one and have one and utilize their services as much as you possibly can. I don't know what your financial circumstances are, but when you find that physical therapist, if their answer is do less, they're not the one that you want. You want a physiotherapist who goes, okay, how do we get you squatting? Because the thing that you need to be doing is you need to be squatting and deadlifting. You need to be putting significant pressure, literal pressure, onto the musculature and bones that you've fucked. You need to be putting literal pressure on them in order to stimulate growth, which is to say to stimulate regrowth. You need to break those segments of yourself down and rebuild them so that that nerve isn't fucked. I want to get a scan on it, but so hard to get a booking for one at the moment. Go for it. Try. Get the scan. Why is it so hard to get a booking? You need to find out if it's trapped or something more serious. Very, very well. Dr. Hardy gave me the green light to play volleyball. What's holding me down is my own fear of getting hurt again. Reasonable. I think you can handle that fear by being ready, right? By doing more of the strength exercises and feeling really confident in your wrist and your hand. You can get across that fear because you're like, yeah, this is scary, but I'm ready. This is scary, but I've got my sword. This is scary, but I'm in armor. But I've got what I need.
Up really hungry if I didn't eat that well the night before.
Yeah.
But typically after I train, I'll eat. I like oatmeal after I train. Oatmeal, fruit, some fish oil, protein drink, and then maybe 90 to 120 minutes after that, I'll have a real lunch. My lunch is pretty much the biggest meal of the day. If I have my way, it'll be a steak, a salad, maybe a little more starch.
Good, Vlor.
Sort of got it earlier.
Yep.
Brazil nuts. That meal sometimes can extend longer and longer.
It just
I
ends
love
up
to
being
eat.
a feeding
I
fast,
love
yeah.
to eat. Yeah, so I'll eat, and then I confess I usually will work a little bit more for about 30 minutes or an hour, typically email, and then I'll take a 10 to 30 minute yoga nidra nap or a nap, and then come back refreshed.
I really struggle with the naps, man. I come back after that and my emotions are all over the place. I'm disoriented. Maybe it's because I struggle to fall asleep super quickly, and therefore I'm extending that period out for a little bit longer than I need. I probably need to try the yoga nidra thing. But for me, I'm absolutely all over if I do that. I wake up and I don't know what day it is, and my emotions always feel a little bit out of whack as well.
I wake up grumpy from naps sometimes, I'm told.
Okay.
There are a few times when I've woken up just really angry. I have no idea what that's about. I don't know any of the neurochemistry associated with that. Sometimes I wake up from naps, it's really pleasant. I'll occasionally do, if the nap is early enough in the day, afterwards I'll have a nice double espresso and get back into work. That's the hardest part of the day, actually. If I was well structured in the early part of the day, it's that 2 or 3 p.m. The key is that
The dude on the other side?
try and get something.
Yeah, that's Chris
really
fucking
useful
Williamson.
done cognitively again.
Fucking asshole.
So some people might look at this and say, "Wait,
Fucking
you're working
asshole."
for an hour in the
I'll show you
morning
more of
and
him in a
30
sec.
minutes here and an hour in the afternoon. When are you actually working?" But it's really about the depth of the trench when you're working. And so if I'm going to drop into something again for a few hours in the afternoon, I'm really going to drop into it. And that's typically phone off and out of the room. And my goal is to get to the evening time so that I can do the things that I want.
What's happening, Pete?
This guy. So, never understood feeling grumpy after a nap. It messes with your neurochemistry. So it resets your systems, and that could cause something in the reset of the systems that would be different or weird. Let me show you Chrissy boy, Mr. Williamson.
Speaking of which, I got sent this thread.
So Chris Williamson was he's a club promoter. He was a reality TV star on Love Island or something, and now he's built out this podcast that has had all sorts of different people on board. And basically, what I think that Chris Williamson does is go and find people he thinks are interesting and steal all their information. get across from them and steal all of their information. And I can't tell how partisan Williamson is, because I've just found his stuff quite useful. But I think his stuff does lean more conservative partisan, which is a bit of a problem. However, I've never gotten any squicky vibes from that sauce, from that stuff. One of the things that this guy has as a background is that he has this background as a club promoter. And that means that he sees a lot of people interact in social environments, specifically sexual-leaning social environments, clubs, nightclubs. And that actually is a really interesting place for study and observation of especially interactions between men and women. And then you've got this guy who was in dating shows and stuff and is like he's a honk. He's a honk of human for sure. Let me see, drop this one. Pop that up above media share. Pop media share off. That's his fucking profile thing, is just like God mode bullshit, right? Obviously. Podcaster, YouTuber, and club promoter. Learning out loud with guidance from the most interesting people in the planet. And that's exactly it. Aspiring trophy husband. And, I mean, the dude's an Adonis, like, god-tier, gorgeous human being, obviously. Got good body, but his face is a no for me. Well, who cares about what you think? Millions and millions of women would slob this guy's knob, so who gives a shit what you think? Who gives a shit what I think either? Right? Like, who cares? The man is killing it. What's interesting to me is the process of stealing information consensually and rationally via talking to other humans, you know? It's really fascinating. Well, let's see. I care what I think. Yeah, but you don't matter, because you're just a speck of dust on this planet, Kikori. None of us matter. We're all worthless, right? Definitely on the Giga Chad type beat. Exactly. And Giga Chatting the mind as well. You know who else I think is on that shit? This guy. This guy is sick as fuck and way less partisan, which is very helpful. I really like Rich Roll. The reason that I really like Rich Roll is because he's an endurance runner. And I've been getting really interested in watching endurance runners. Yeah, Born to Run. Let's see. Rule of Threes, Rich Roll. Something like this. I get all these useful things from this. Rule of Thirds.
So my Olympic coach told me after a particularly challenging workout where I could not hit my splits before going to the Rio Olympics that was okay. It was the rule of thirds. And he was an Olympian, so I always soaked in everything he said. And I was like, what's the rule of thirds? And he said, when you're chasing a dream or doing anything hard, you're meant to feel good a third of the time, okay a third of the time, and crappy a third of the time. And if the ratio is roughly in that range, then you're doing fine. So today was the crappy day along your dream chasing.
Right.
And if the ratio is off, like you feel too good all the time or too bad, then you got to look at if you're fatiguing or not trying hard enough or pushing yourself. So my Olympic coach.
Excellent stuff. So or like this is a thing that's this video is just fantastic
enough. And those.
So we go. It's also, this is the sort of thing where you say, oh, this guy's on that Giga Chad grind. This guy's on that Bio Chad grind, okay? So there are like Techno Chads, right? The crypto boys and the Muskalikes and the billionaire techno wizards and all that jazz. And then there are the Giga Chads who are like, best person, big human, very strong, sexy boy, rarg, have all the things, get all the money, do all the things, Giga Chad, right? And then there are the Bio Chads who are like, I just want to live a long time and live really effectively. And this guy is in Bio Chad land, right? And I'm trying to build my own Chad, which is to say myself, by stealing from all these people, because that's what you can do. The internet exists, and there are all these people who are putting all this information totally free out there and stealing all this shit from all these people. This guy, Rich Roll, he's a runner, a long distance runner, ultra marathoner, right? So ultra endurance athlete. This is the kind of person who is capable of mentally pushing themselves into places and pain that humans don't normally go, but that we are very much capable of. And what you discover, or what he discovers, and what I've discovered, is that we're actually built for it, and we actually only thrive when we're expressing it, and when we're seeking it continuously and consenting to it and leaning into the difficulty and the hardship. Kikuri says, I wonder if the 2/3 part gets distorted for women due to periods taking up more of that time, or do they have to factor that in and ratio the rest of the bad stuff? I have no idea, man. I really don't know. I would assume that it's just a part of the part of the situation, and that you deal with the shitty times when they're shitty. Because, you know, the menstrual cycle has periods where the emotions are all over the place, but there are also periods in the menstrual cycle, as far as I know, where the opposite is true, and where the good juices are flowing, you know, and where you're feeling on the opposite end of probably, you know, in binary opposition to where the worst part of the cycle is, and the cramps and the pain and the stress and the hormonal confusion and the sex drive being all over the place and all the things that happen varyingly to various women, because various women have very different things. But I'll bet that they've got a section of the cycle that's on the other side too, that's like really put together and like coherent and driven and all that stuff. But I don't know. You'd have to talk to a lot more women. Now, she was able to utilize the thought process, though, is the most important part, which is just this ability to ideate, man, I feel really shit right now, but I haven't had my quota of my 1/3 of my days being shitty yet. So this is normal for me to be shitty. It's not like my life is over. It's not like my training is screwed. This is the norm, and this is expected. And we just grind through it, and maybe tomorrow will be a good day instead. And that would be pretty good. Probably when most fertile, yeah, maybe in pre-ovulatory phase or during ovulatory phase. It's quite possible. It's when the seeking behaviors occur. You know, they did a study and women smelling men. When women are in the pre-ovulatory phase of their menstrual cycle, they, from smell, prefer men who are more physically symmetrical. Craziest piece of information, okay? So women, during the specific period where they are pre-ovulatory, where they're in mate-seeking portion of the cycle, because they're pre-ovulatory, so they want to set something down so that any mates that they potentially mate with might be the best mates possible. By smell, by pheromone alone, they are able to differentiate between lopsided men and fuck, I just said it, down the middle, symmetrical men. They categorized men as symmetrical, and then they had the women smell clothing that the men had worn, and during many phases of the cycle, the women didn't care or differentiate, right? But during the phase of their cycle where they were pre-ovulatory, they smelled the two, and women overall, double-blind, preferred the scents of the men who were physically in the category of being more symmetrical, which is to say that when mate-seeking, women are seeking biologically valuable mates more frequently. And then here's something fascinating. Women on birth control can't differentiate. Now, what the fuck that means, I don't really know, but okay. So women, when they're pre-ovulatory, not on birth control, they are drawn to and attracted to more symmetrical men. Women who are not on who are on birth control can't tell the difference, and they're equally attracted to symmetrical and non-symmetrical men. So does birth control reduce the like innate ability of women to determine the kinds of people that they would want to mate with? Does it make the playing field level for like attractiveness? Does it materially alter the people that you're into? That's fascinating. And then let's ask this. What if you start dating someone who's not very symmetrical while you're on birth control? And it's fine. You find them very attractive, yada, yada. And then you go off the birth control. And then you hit your pre-ovulatory phase where you most prefer men who are symmetrical and the man that you are with is not. What happens then? I don't know. What a fucking interesting concept. Crazy.
A positive mindset changes you, which changes your ability
This is a great-
to deal with the shitty situation that you're in.
I'm gonna
Great
put myself
fucking
through
sequence.
this much pain
I
and
love
suffering
Goggins.
for a few seconds of joy. And it's so worth it, man.
It's behavior.
This book is
first,
sick.
Thoughts, feelings.
I'm only a few pages in, and immediately I'm like,
Mental
fuck
strength is much
Goggins,
more powerful
God!
than physical strength.
It's in that zone that we have our greatest levels of growth and, yes, discomfort. But discomfort is, again, the price of admission to a
growth.
meaningful life.
Discomfort is the price of admission to a meaningful life. I love her.
Like changing the story.
I stole an idea from her years ago that I read in an article she wrote in a fucking magazine. I can't remember what magazine it was, but I read it years ago. It was in like fucking Wired or Pop Mechanics or something stupid. She wrote an article about a thing that she called the pain cave. And the pain cave is the place where you get when she's an endurance runner, when you're endurance running and you get to the point of gone. Like you can't keep going. It's all pain. That's your place now. Your place is your pain cave. And her idea is you imagine this space that you're trapped inside of, the walls closing in on you. And you imagine clawing at the fucking walls of the cave. Clawing at the walls of the cave, right? And what you're doing is you're clawing it bigger. You're clawing the pain cave bigger, which is the space where you're in pain. You're getting more comfortable there. And you go there when you're in it. And you go there and you hold out. And you hold on in that pain cave. And it starts to become the place that you try to get to. It's the place where the work begins. And her framing of that has materially altered my entire life for years. And I watched this podcast on mindset from Rich Roll, and she pops up, and I'm like, wait a second, that's that lady. And she's like, yeah, so there's this idea that I call the pain cave. I'm like, that's the one. That's that yeah.
Line makes it a whole different game.
Just try to find a way to get 1%
That's
better
James
each
Clear
day.
of Atomic Habits.
Interrupting the patterns of thought that are holding you back, it is the only way you are going to change.
Mindset is the single most important thing that anyone can take out of this conversation.
I just think how often they pee and poop themselves. Who gives a fuck? Dirty humans can run
Hey
real
everybody,
good.
welcome to the podcast. Today we're going to go deep on mindset.
Biochad.
And we're going to do it through the lens of experience and wisdom by dint of some of the most successful, impressive, and mentally tough people on the planet.
Yes, sir.
By way of background, for the last 9 years, I have put everything into this podcast, and through
Simon
conversation,
the Digger in his
we have
room
compiled
digging
this really
into the
powerful
wall.
arsenal of
Exactly.
potent, life-altering ideas, perspectives, and tools on how to cultivate, embrace, and apply a new and more personally meaningful approach to life. And so, for the fourth time, today we present you with this very special masterclass episode that anthologizes the best wisdom shared over the years regarding habit change science, how to overcome obstacles, and foster a mindset that will ultimately improve every aspect of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Because, in the words of my friend Mel Robbins, mindset changes you. So, this is a powerful and, dare I say, potentially life-changing collection of wisdom, and I can't wait for you to hear it. Starting with an extraordinary athlete, a true master of mindset, Leila Goldstein. Leila Goldstein is undeniably one of the toughest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
At just 17, she donned the Bantamweight World Kickboxing Championship title.
Killing it.
Later, joining the Israeli Defense Force.
Fucking
and becoming
Israel.
a Krav Maga specialist and an undercover Special Forces intelligence officer. She then
I have
embarked
never
on
done
a
sports
professional
really.
cycling
Not
career, but after being told she might not ever walk again following a devastating crash, Leila leaned into her superpower,
Sex 69
her
fun.
mindset,
Get fucking
to
banned.
aid her recovery and launch a brand new chapter in her extraordinary life. In 2021, at age 52 and entirely plant-based, I might add, Leila became the very first woman in the 39-year history of RAM, the 3,000-mile race across America, to beat everyone, including all the men, and outright win the solo division.
Hold on. I would like to go back and just mention that in Race Across America
and launch
post a crash where she was told that she would never walk again or ride a bike again.
A brand new 52 and entirely
at
plant-based,
52,
I might add. Leila became the very first woman in the 39-year history of RAM, the 3,000-mile race across America, to beat everyone, including all the men.
Beat the entire
and outright
field.
Win the solo
Female
division.
52.
Here's a glimpse
What?
into the power of mindset.
What the fuck?
When you've been told your physical prowess is over, that
How the fuck
healing
do you
will
do
be
that?
lifelong, and that achievements will be something of your past and not your future.
When I reached the peak kind of at that point where opportunities were handed to me, I had the mother of all crashes in Cascade. You start descending, and on those bikes, you can go very fast, almost up to, 100 kilometers an hour, 80 miles an hour. And as we're descending, other riders are starting to come up, and I'm seeing like 85, 86. And then there's a rider kind of coming on my left-hand side. And, there's a center line rule, and she kind of leans into me, and at 80 kilometers an hour, I land on my face. It was a nightmare. I mean, I shouldn't be sitting here today.
Right. So
You can tell that she's had surgery
I
done.
believe, correct me if I'm wrong, like Velo News dubbed this crash like the most epic crash of all time.
Correct. At that time,
Right.
correct, yes.
And you were told that you might not walk
Hi,
properly
Miyoka.
again.
Correct. I
Welcome
mean, I
back.
broke both my ischium was shattered. My hips were broken. My arms, fingers and toes busted, right? It's like taking a pretzel and basically stepping on it, right?
Mhm.
And I can't even explain to you the worst pain I'd ever been through. Everything hurt all the time, breathing, blinking, people opening and closing the door, the wind from that, right? It was a tough go.
Wow. How long were you in the hospital?
Dean Carnazes. I
they
have
couldn't
read a
move me
lot
out
about
of the
Dean
United
Carnazes.
States for I think 4 weeks, and then they transferred me to, because I had to be airlifted from the crash to St. Charles in Bend, Oregon, and then my sister came to pick me up because I couldn't, it was going to take a big process to drive me back to Canada, because also getting expensive, because medical is expensive here, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So months in the hospital.
Yes.
But you have the gift of these doctors telling you you're not going to walk
Yeah.
again, let
What a
alone
gift.
get on a bike and ever race again, right?
Great,
So
great.
what do you do with
No
that
hope.
information?
Great, no hope.
You know what I said to them in my
Yeah.
head. I won't say it on
Fuck
air.
you is what she
I
said.
mean, how do you begin the rehab process?
Well, listen, the only thing I could do was contract my abs. That was the only physical thing I could do, right? But I basically made a promise to myself, and I said, I don't care how long it takes, or the kind of pain I'm going to go through. I'm going to get back on the bike. I'm going to race again, and I'm going to come back even stronger than I did before all this happened, right? And I think it happens to a lot of people when you're faced with this
That's good,
overwhelming
Fleur.
situations. You don't know what to do, so you kind of buckle, right? So I knew I had a lot of work cut out for me, but I think everything is upstairs. It's what you believe in, what you make your body believe that you can do, right?
Ran a
Because
marathon
honestly,
again. Awesome.
if I believed everything that I was told, even growing up, then I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Right. But, we all have our breaking points too.
We do.
But your ability to kind of
you should go and see
compartmentalize
doctors.
all
They're
of
the best
that
we've got.
and
Well,
just focus
But
on
treating them a little bit like they are witch doctors and shamans is pretty smart, because doctors know a lot, and that doesn't mean that they know everything.
ability to kind of compartmentalize all of that and just focus on, okay, I can do this. Like, how much of your military training comes into play in
Plenty.
terms of having the mental rigor?
Most people don't
to
have
just
that.
block out, the fear and focus on the task at hand.
Well, I think the military has a lot to do with it, because it was part of their job, even during my, military training, to crack us mentally as best as they can, right?
Break you down, break you down,
because
break you
mental
down.
strength is much more powerful than physical strength. We all know that, But for me, like at that point, going back to the hospital, I mean, how can they say something like that? I haven't even started my rehab, you know what I mean? Just to make that kind of prediction that fast, right? And I think that's the thing, is that we're so quick to take, the easy way out, right? Without being more optimistic of the things that we possibly can do, and the possibilities of just going after the things that you believe in, right? Because sometimes you're not going to get support from other people. You're going to have to believe in yourself, right? And that's the thing, is we're so influenced by other sources.
Walla
But
walla,
for me,
bing
I
bang.
never was, never has been, and never will be. What I want to do and what I'm determined to do, I'll make it happen. I'll find a way to make it happen.
Right.
I want to do and what
This moment from her is so powerful to me.
I'm determined to do, I'll make it happen.
With the way she says, I'll make it happen. It's like you're looking into the eyes of someone who's made 1,000 things happen that people told her were impossible. She's like, I'm going to make it fucking happen. I don't give a shit what you think. And it's true, because she makes it true.
I'll find a way to make it happen.
Right. So make it happen, you did. Like, how long was the rehabilitation before you could get back on a bike?
I was back on my bike, race ready, in less than a season.
So like
8 months.
8 months. Wow.
But every day, you know, I was better than the day before, and just staying positive. And honestly,
And
sort of
working.
being in that positive mode, I could feel things starting to bind. Because when I went to get
Literally,
re-x-rayed at the General
literally.
Hospital
Her
in
body
Vancouver
coming back together.
a couple of months later, they were floored at how fast I was recovering.
Right.
You know?
And you attribute that to just being in
No, you weren't
motion.
annoying
I
today,
think
Fleur. You were
motion and
extremely
mentally,
helpful.
You know what I mean? And just
You're
determined that I
extremely
am
helpful.
gonna
Thank
get
you
out
for
of
the
this.
dollars. They helped a lot.
So from the
Thank
wheelchair,
you, VLR.
then like how do you?
No annoyance.
I mean, are you walking with a limp?
I'm
Like,
just
how-
slightly irritable
no,
today.
It goes from wheelchair to a one crutch. you know?
Right.
What the fuck? Wow, exactly, right? Like, exactly. Like the fucking scene in JoJo's where Strizo pulls himself back together out of just nothingness. That's what I imagine, is this person who's like, my hips were shattered, my ischemia were shattered, all my bones in my hands were shattered. I literally couldn't move anything but my abs. And with just pure, she's yanking herself back together and she's feeling bones knit together. And they're literally binding, and all the doctors are looking at her charts going, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you? How the you're a fucking monster. And she's like, yeah, I'm a monster. Let me get it back on the fucking bike.
I mean,
It's so
popping
baller.
away. And then, I mean, it was even wheelchair to wheeling to my trainer, which was on a bike, whatever. And it took me like 40 minutes just to get from the wheelchair, just to sit and be comfortable on the bike, because it was the flashbacks.
Despite the age-old adage, you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
We're just gonna watch a
what
couple
if I
of
told
these.
you that you actually do have the power to change your brain and reprogram
And we will
your
absolutely watch through
perception
Huberman.
irrespective of age. Meet neuroplasticity overlord Dr. Andrew
Overlord.
Huberman, a neuroscientist and tenured professor in the Department of Neurobiology at Stanford University School of Medicine.
That boy.
Andrew specializes in the brain's inherent ability to modify itself based on experience and the many ways we can advantageously leverage this process. Here's a quick lesson on how to shift your perspective and sharpen your mindset through behavior.
It's incredible because if you think about sensation, perception, feeling, thought, and behavior, actually the way to control our nervous system and feel the way we want to feel is to run that backwards.
What the fuck?
Behavior,
That's some
thoughts.
JoJo's bullshit.
So if you change your behavior, then generally your
This
thoughts,
is
your
crucial.
feelings, and your perceptions change.
Yep, behavior first.
And everyone tries to come at it from the other end, but he's figured out through whatever
Goggins.
process led him there and incredible life circumstances,
Yep.
how to run it in this direction of behavior first.
The
and
other
I
way.
really think that if neuroscience has anything to offer, it's some understanding of what the underlying chemicals and neural circuits are, but the sooner that the human animal, the human species can start to understand that our feelings and our thoughts and our memories and all that is very complicated, but that when behaviors are very concrete and they are the control panel for the rest of it.
Cool.
I don't want to relegate feelings. Feelings are extremely important. I don't want to relegate perception. They're extremely important.
Exactly,
But when it comes
EC.
to wanting to shift the way that you function,
You see, exactly. It's this process of self-healing is so similar because Sanderson sees through time and space, right? He's a shaman. He's a prophet in many ways. I don't mean literally religiously. I mean, he sees truth about humanity and reality and is capable of writing archetypes that fulfill that truth, right? The whole bridge crew idea is just life, right? It's just a crew of people going up against interminable odds because the powerful above them want to throw them into chaos and et cetera, et cetera. It's exactly right. And the oaths and the binding and the next step, all these things are archetypes.
to get better important. But when it comes to wanting to shift the way that you function, to get better or to perform better or to show up better or to move away from things like addictive behaviors, it's absolutely foolish for any of us, me included, to think that we can do that by changing our thoughts first. It's behavior first, thoughts, feelings.
You can't
and
control the
perceptions.
mind with the mind.
Mood follows action.
Mood follows action.
This has like been my mantra forever, and I swear by it. And
You do the
David's example illustrates that act first. He's developed so much neural plasticity that it's reflexive for him to just move towards the hard
Goes
thing
toward
or
friction.
the challenge or
That's why
the
I worry about him.
discomfort, right? And now the science establishes that this is indeed the case, and yet our programming, our default hardwiring.
But sometime how you talk about it, I just think of Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer is fantastic, by the way. That's a movie that I want to watch on camera. There we go. Thank you so much. Holy shit. That's a movie that I want to watch. What a myth. What a great myth Snowpiercer is. And so many people dismiss it because they're like, dumb action movie. Wee 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 wee. Wee 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 wee. But no. One of the most powerful and potent mythologies that's ever been put to film. Fucking hell. Snowpiercer is great.
Is
the fucking tanker guy and the bug goop and the fighting and the fighting and it's so sick. I just realized even thinking that you can change the mind with the mind via meditation is missing that meditation itself is an action and not a thought. Correct. Meditation is the constant process of bringing yourself back to focus, right? It's allowing yourself to run away and bring yourself back to focus. And what they actually did is they did tests on great meditators, and they thought what would happen is that they're just really good at focusing, right? Focusing on nothing. And that's not true. What actually happens is they're really good at returning to focusing. Their mind wanders as much as everybody else's. They just bring it back faster. And in fact, what happens is their mind wanders immediately and faster, and they put a leash on it and retain it and retain it until it's so fast that they go out of the thing that they're back in the thing immediately. And then it's like they never lose the thing. It's like they're in disharmony with themselves. Disharmony. And then they're meditating. And they're in that state of constantly shifting away and shifting back. Away, back, to the point where they're right in the middle all the time. So that's part of the thing about meditation, because Huberman has a full episode on meditation, is that the great practitioners aren't actually better at not getting distracted than you are. They're better at noticing when they've gotten distracted and returning themselves to focus, because every brain gets distracted. If you put a human inside a sensory deprivation tank, it takes like 45 minutes before you can reliably get a human being to hallucinate. Like reliably. You can just cause it. You just remove separation and humans hallucinate reliably. So why do I bring that up? Well, your brain wanders. It does it for everybody. You can't stop it for everybody. And a lot of people sit down when they try to meditate and they go, oh, my brain wandered. I guess I'm bad at this. I'm sitting down and I'm thinking about dicks and titties. Fuck. I'm such a stupid idiot. It's like, yeah, no shit. Okay, so you just focus on the process of bringing it back, right? Allow your brain to wander, and when you recognize the wandering, bring it back. And what you're training is the process of recognizing what your mind is doing, and then using action and behavior and breath and the action of inaction in order to bring yourself back to some center. EC says a tighter waveform, and that is precisely correct. And I'll bet, I don't know if it's true, but I'll bet if you were to do a very solid overall look at all of the waveforms of brainwaves that are going on in your brain, as you meditate, the waveforms probably become tighter in. Probably. I would guess that the waveforms become tighter up to a point and then balanced in there. But I don't know.
To, put us in this place where we want to ruminate on all this stuff and wait until we feel like doing something before we do it, or check our motivations for it. But anytime I'm in a funk or I want to change my state, I have to move forward. I have to do something with...
I don't meditate, I listen to music and daydream, which I feel gives me the same advantages. If you haven't meditated, then you have no idea whether it gives you the same advantages, right? You just think it does, so you don't know. Now that said, meditation takes many forms, and listening to music can be a form of it, but usually if you've got external feedback or stimulus, that's not going to work. Not going to work in the same way. The whole point of meditation is to control your mind, not to free associate and daydream. It's the opposite. It's probably exactly the opposite, and so I would assume that you have... not tried meditative practice, which I would recommend, because forcing yourself to not daydream, putting a leash upon your mind's wanderings is the idea. Calmly, not like not with force, but with care and consciousness. What you're describing is daydreaming, which is the opposite, and very useful. I'm not trying to knock it. Very useful. Totally the opposite process.
My physical body in order to shake things up and rearrange whatever's going on mentally. So and it works every time.
It works every time because the brain circuits, meaning sets of connections and chemicals, they're there from birth, they're there your whole life, and they were designed for that. So in 2018, a graduate student in my lab published a paper in Nature showing that in the face of a physical threat, there are three options. You can obviously freeze, you can retreat, or you can move forward. And the moving forward response actually triggers activation of a connection in the brain to the dopamine circuitry of the brain and makes it more likely that you're going to be able to move forward in the future. Now, what was interesting to us was that not only is forward action rewarded at a neurochemical level, which then sets you up for more forward action, but the highest level of agitation and stress was associated with moving forward. We always think, well, if I just calm myself enough,
I could only be ready.
Forward. Right.
But it's the exact opposite. You know, and so people who are paralyzed in fear or that have a hard time initiating, sometimes the key is to raise the level of stress and agitation. This is why deadlines are so effective.
Right.
This is why fear is so effective. This is why that deer gets up out of its, nice little den and starts to move, because it feels a certain level of agitation. If that agitation isn't high enough, we will not move forward. And so especially in the US, we have a culture in which stress has been created, these ideas around stress is that it's terrible for us, when in fact stress is designed to move us forward towards these action steps that are rewarded, which then move us forward, and so on.
Meditation doesn't give you a sense of calm, peace, and balance while you're doing it. It shouldn't. It should be really difficult while you're doing it. It should give you that calm, peace, and balance everywhere else because you've got the capacity to focus, which you didn't have before. Your daydreaming and music thing does the opposite. It makes you feel peaceful and balanced and peaceful because you're literally letting yourself dream, which is important. And that's why I said it's an important thing that you're doing, but it's exactly the opposite of what meditation is doing, precisely. Now, EC says, I would caveat that don't discount guided meditations while acknowledging that it's not the same as freely listening to music. Right. I don't understand how that fits in exactly, but I agree. Guided meditation is extremely useful, especially if you're new to a meditative practice, because it gives you something third party to focus upon. The issue, Kikuri, is this. You're continuing to talk about something that you've indicated that you haven't done, right? So you're talking about people say this and that about meditation, and so I assume that I understand what they're talking about. You got no clue.
So what is the process of...
All you have to do to be able to speak about it is go and try to meditate for an hour or two. Go try it for 5 minutes. Go look up what a meditation practice is and attempt it, and then you'll understand it. Then you'll understand.
Of combating that, monkey mind that is, running whatever narrative that's keeping you stuck. Like, it's easy to say, like, just move, you got to take the action.
Sure.
But a lot of people still, despite understanding that, intellectualizing that, are unable to, basically.
What is the main reason you meditate then, T? Because I have to? Because I'd like to be able to run my brain and not have it run me. Because... what do you want to achieve through it? Because my mind wanders, and actively focusing trains me to actively focus.
Act as if.
Some people...
I do it. It's not to make me feel good. Fuck feeling good. Feeling good is so useless. It's to make me powerful. It's to give me power over myself. You probably don't have the power to sit still for 10 minutes and look at nothing and not think about anything. You probably don't do it. I don't have it. Or you probably don't have that power. I don't have that power. 10 minutes? I couldn't do it. I'll tell you right now. If I sit down and I try, my mind will wander within a minute or two. Even if I'm bringing it back and bringing it back and bringing it back, I'm not good enough at bringing it back. So you're not in control of yourself. Okay, I just don't get the wandering mind to begin with. Bullshit. Just bullshit. You have no idea how your own mind works, Kikori. Yes, you do. Go sit down. Take your headphones off, go sit down and try to not think about anything for 1 minute. It'll take you 5 seconds to think about something.
Are just hypo-aroused. They're just not motivated enough.
In fact, you just said that you'd get the wandering mind. When you put music on and let your mind wander, what do you think I'm talking about? That's the wandering mind, man. That is the thing.
off. And those people would benefit greatly from cultivating practices like superoxygenated breathing. So this is something along the lines of like Tumo type breathing. So rapid, and we look at this in the lab, we're actually running a human study on this now. So 25 or 30 deep breaths through the nose and out through the mouth, then exhaling the breath and holding, learning how to self-generate adrenaline. That's what you're doing when you're doing
some
that.
version of the Wim Hof technique. Or
that's what that is.
Brian McKenzie talks about.
Some people are so agitated, the monkey mind, they got too many things going on and they're thinking, okay, they're trying to sit down and write. I suffer from this and I'm feeling like, wait, I've also got this person I need.
I mean, I just don't see the point because I don't have a problem. Yes, you do. I don't have a problem with focusing, so I don't see the need to improve it like you want to. I guarantee that that's not true. You just have no idea how you could be able to focus. You don't know what you don't know. Got no clue what you don't know. And I know this because I used to dismiss meditation. Even after having a lot of training in it, I dismissed it completely. And I didn't know what I didn't know. And Kikuri, you have a really bad habit of saying that you know what you don't know. That you know that what you don't know, you don't need. I think the confusion is that it's not obvious what the wandering mind is when it's all you know. The contrast is necessary to perceive it. Exactly. Right. That's why I said all you need to do is go and sit down and try, and you'll find out really fast that your mind wanders. All you have to do is to try to not let it. In the donation receipt, it shows your name. Is this okay? Does it? Does it actually? That's interesting. Yeah, it's okay. I don't know if it's your name. Well, don't say it anywhere. Does it show a name other than T Tiabu? If it shows a name other than T Tiabu, that's probably my name, and I probably don't want that. Shows a name and a surname. Okay, that's a problem. Yeah, thank you for not saying anything. I'll figure that out. On the dashboard. Bing. Let me remove that. Disconnect. Tip methods. What is this? All payment types from PayPal. Requires a business PayPal account. That is what I have, actually. So that's what I need. PayPal onboarding process. Connect a PayPal account. Already being used. Oh, I see. So it must be... Wait, what? Do I not have a PayPal business account? Give me the wine time code. Okay. Settings. Change name. Right, I can't use that. It's the seller. So I have the business account. Yeah. Share your link to get paid. Right. God, thanks, Joshua Chi. I just saw that. Email you a screenshot. You don't need to. I understand. I know what it is. I understand already. It's switching it to set it up so that Streamlabs works with the proper PayPal instead of the shitty PayPal. Because I've got a business account. And so I need to have it attached to the business account. Verified account, how to become verified. Proven track record, demonstrate a consistent pattern, activating PayPal, use the PayPal integration. I would love to use the PayPal integration. Let me connect that. Connect PayPal. Panicked a bit. Well, it's fine. Don't panic. You don't need to panic, man. It's just my information. Ah. Convert your personal account to business. Fuck. Great. Great, great. Agree and upgrade. Please work, PayPal. Come on. Biz sign up. Business type is a limited liability corporation. It is entertainment. It is media. Digital goods, media, movies, music. Content, critic, film, media. So digital goods, media. Yep. Monthly sales, not a lot. Website, optional. EIN, I don't have one. Unless, do I have one? Because I did just sign up for a thing. Nope. What about here? Biz file. Nope. Here. Biz file. Biz file. Document type. Entity number. How to get an EIN? How get EIN LLC? Apply online. Apply for an EIN online. I will do so. Apply online. Okay. Begin application. It is a limited liability company. Continue. Continue. 1. California. Continue. Continue. Banking purposes. Yep. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. One of the owners and members. Different address, no. Must match articles of organization. Fuck. Uncertainty search. I'll just use the one that I have already. There it is. Trade name. California. It was this month. $12.05. Yep. Continue. The only special characters allowed are. Oh, I put a dot. Okay. Continue. There we go. Own a highway or motor vehicle, gambling or wagering? Nope. Need to file one of these? Nope. Sell or manufacture alcohol or tobacco? Nope. Form W-2 people? Nope. Continue. Business or organization, construction, finance, insurance, healthcare, retail, social assistance, warehousing, wholesale. Other. Repair, rental, organization, manufacturing, consulting, service. Content creation. Okay, there you go. Receive a letter online. Yes, please. Continue. And submit. Please give me an EIN right now. EIN confirmation letter. Sick. It is downloaded and saved, and I have it now. Fucking amazing. Where is my EIN number? It is right here. I've got the employer identification number. Grabbed it. Got it. Drop it into the PayPal. You don't get no customer service email. Oh, okay. I have to, actually. Oh, let me just do. Next. What you doing? I am setting up my PayPal properly. Make sure it matches what's on your photo ID. Yep, that's good. Come on, PayPal. Come on, PayPal. Me owns 25% or more. I own 100% of this business. Uh-huh. Okay. Sorry, folks. I am watching another thing at the moment. Management info. Okay, verify with document. Driver's license front only, happily. I actually have a driver's license photo. Crap, I don't have my photo, so... share that. Oh, there it is. Just had to wait for the thing to send to my thing. There we go. File is too big. Please try with a small file smaller than 2 megabytes. Yeah, it's like a 20 megabyte file. Oops. Let me convert with Honeyview. Rotate 90 degrees clockwise. Okay. And JPEG and high quality save. And that becomes a much tinier file. So there we go. POW. Upload. An address or phone document. I mean, I have this, so this works. Okay. And that I must send as well. Sorry, I shouldn't be doing all this stuff on stream. I'm just doing it because I'm doing it, because I'm an idiot. My bad. Great. So I would love for the Streamlabs thing to not show my full name and dox me every time that somebody pays me money. That would be appreciated, you know? I don't mind that much. It's already slipped, and it doesn't matter, really. As far as I can tell, it's probably a good thing to be honest about it anyway, but... because it's just something that people can use to hurt me. If I hide myself in any way. But I'd still rather mostly be via pseudonyms. Do what you do, we can multitask and do other stuff at the same time. Yeah, but still. The point of streaming is to be engaged with the audience and not to be just doing random stuff continuously. So whether you're okay with it or not, I'm not okay with it because it's an unreasonable thing to do. And also bad for the quality of the stream in general. And bad for general viewership and bad in a lot of ways. Do not resize, do not rotate. Convert to a JPEG. There we go. And that is not the one. So let's try that again. I'm going to leave it pinned. I don't care. Preserve original ratio. Okay. And the file size became 3.5. Oops. There we go. And that's small enough. Great. Fucking hell. Takes so much time. Driver's license. Oh, I just need it to be the same document. I'm stupid. Great. Upload. And then the SSN or ITIN document. Third-party tax return. First page. I could do that. All right, let me log in here to Tax Slayer and see if I can grab my... Receive your unique code, send me a code. Oops. Oops, a new one. Verify. Okay. 2021 access return. Access return, the federal tax return. Yep. ...2021 federal in a PDF format, please. There it is. Show previous.pdf. And I can just literally do this. I can just print screen it. Grab this whole fucking thing. Save it. And that's fucking me. So all I have to do then is go to PayPal, document type, third-party tax return, first page only, browse file, grab the screenshot that I just took, upload it. And then all three of my documents are in. And hopefully PayPal will let me have an account now. Verified, verified, verified. Continue. Continue. Press start. Enter 1 quarter. Press start. Continue. I don't remember it taking so long to set up. It's because I'm setting up as a business. I'm going to do this later with the chargeback protection. Go back to Streamlabs. Yes. Okay, Streamlabs is now set up with my PayPal account. It should be that when you go and you pay through Streamlabs, you don't see my information now because you're paying my business name instead. But I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, then that's the way that it is, and there's nothing I can fucking do about it. Back to the point of the episode and what we're actually supposed to be doing today, which is watching this gosh darn amazing masterclass on absolutely spectacularly valuable information. instead of getting distracted by the PayPal shit. I just want to get through the Huberman portion and maybe the Goggins portion, and then I want to go take a shower.
And I'm kind of being drawn off course by not being able to put the blinders on. For people that have that issue, I think learning how to calm the nervous system is very powerful. And a physiological sigh is 2 inhales followed by an extended exhale. So it's like, it's not just a deep breath. It's 2 inhales followed by an exhale. Okay, and what that,
and you only want to do it twice or 3 times.
This has been shown several times now in humans and other species as well. As it dilates the little sacs of the lungs. And that second inhale dilates them a little bit more, and it pulls a little bit of carbon dioxide out of the bloodstream so that when we exhale, we offload the maximum amount of carbon dioxide, and it perfectly adjusts the ratio of carbon dioxide and oxygen in the bloodstream and lungs.
Very helpful.
And sometimes it only takes 1 of these double inhale exhales. Sometimes somebody needs to do 2 or 3.
It's so valuable.
But that's the fastest.
I've only been doing
way to
those for a
bring the
couple weeks,
autonomic
and they're
nervous
so
system
valuable.
down. A lot of people need such a tool because I think we talk a lot about meditation and tools for calm. And, I can go to Esalen for a weekend and get a massage. I'm going to feel very good. But then when I'm thrown back in real life, I need something that's going to work in real time.
When the shit's really hitting the fan.
Everybody should have a kit of tools that they can use to bring themselves down and ramp themselves up. And then what people don't realize is that mental focus follows visual focus. Now, in blind people, it's slightly different. It follows auditory focus. But in most people, your visual focus, as you bring that into really sharp relief, that image of your book, and you stare at it, you're going to feel some agitation and your mind's going to be jumping all over the place. But if you wait just a couple minutes, the rest of the world will disappear. I think this is sort of like the flow state people are looking for. But remember, the gate of entry is one of you have to wade through some sewage before you can swim in clear water. Right. That's the way I always think about it. But the visual focus is what brings the rest of the brain into cognitive focus. And people in the martial arts understand this. You've probably experienced this running when you're feeling exhausted and you can just concentrate on one milestone and get there. You can almost bring that into what you're doing is you're linking that to the dopamine circuitry. You're saying that thing is the milestone, not winning the race, not some other thing outside this immediate environment, that thing. And when you're able to start capturing these.
Okay, phrasing question, Kikori. When you say actively strangled, do you mean literally wrapped his hands around your throat and tried to kill you? What do you mean? Because that's a very hyperbolic word, and I'd like to know if you mean it literally. Oh, literally tried to strangle you. Is he in jail? Have you pressed charges? Why haven't you pressed charges?
Peripheral circuits, meaning the body, the diaphragm.
You've been assaulted.
The visual system. Then you start getting past this whole idea of mindsets, and it really becomes about the body setting the mind. And this is where I think when you say action leads the rest, right? What you're saying is grounded in real neurobiological data.
Next up, we're going to hear from the humble master of grit and boundary-busting physical prowess, Courtney Dauwalter. Arguably the world's best ultra runner, Courtney's recipe for success isn't about cutting-edge training plans, coaches, or carefully honed nutrition. In fact,
crazy lady just
she
goes.
Actually abides by none of these. For her, it's instead found in seeking out and.
Okay, sounds like you handled that poorly. Now, it's obviously that's a fucked up human being. I didn't react. Then I refused to work a shift with him again. Okay. So that's a lot of justification, but it was just the two of us working, so no evidence. Okay. It's a lot of justification. He should be in jail, and you should be pressing charges.
Celebrating what she calls the pain cave, that deep place of physical discomfort that most go.
Oh, so he got fired. Okay, so then I thought you were asking for help. You're just expressing this. I understand now. Okay, I see. I just didn't get the context because there was no conversation about anger. I guess it was in terms of being able to bring yourself autonomically down, but that only has tangential relations to anger. Any sort of anxiety or distress or stress or anxiety or need to move or any of those things are what he's talking about bringing down and bringing calm. I just didn't understand how that fit into the context of what we're talking about.
Courtney shares a few of her mindset techniques and tactics that have propelled her superhuman feats of endurance and exactly what it means to carve a path through your own pain cave. Tell me a little bit more about what that is when you reach that point or that limit.
In the context of
or
the video and anger
that
management, there wasn't any context regarding anger management in the video as far as I'm aware. Just autonomic arousal. Okay. Which anger management is included in, but it's I see. I didn't get how the link worked, but now I see it.
Other. Like, what is the like the lesson that you find for yourself in that?
So I call it the pain cave, that place. And I guess like probably 4 or 5 years ago, I viewed the pain cave as like this place that you should try to put off as long as possible in a race. Like, make your pain cave be as far away from you as you can. And if you arrive to it, then you just sit in it and you try and survive the pain cave. But in the past couple of years, I mean, it's just a mindset, right? It's like all in our heads, this thing.
It's not just a mindset, it's a narrative. It's a story. I went to the place, I got to the pain cave, and now I'm here. And her previous ideation was, you just get there and you sit in it and you deal. And that's as good as it gets. And her new mindset, her new narrative goes like this.
And in the past couple of years, it's been the place I want to get to. So like changing it to a place where I get to celebrate that I made it there. And then that's where the work actually happens. So making the pain cave bigger is how I view it.
Carving
instead
it out.
of like pushing the
That's
pain
how I view
cave
it.
away.
Clawing into it.
I mean, our minds are so powerful. So even just like changing the storyline makes it a whole different game.
Right. So what is the story that you like? What is the script that you flip when you're in that headspace?
It's oats Miyoka.
hard?
It's got a lot of
Yeah,
peanut
it's
butter
like,
in it.
Perfect.
It's
This
in
is
a
what
peanut
we
butter jar,
wanted.
which is the thing.
Now we get to
But
actually
it's
do the hard
oatmeal
work of making the
with
cave
peanut butter
bigger.
and cacao nibs and
so it's
goji
like
berries
picturing a
and
chisel and just like making tunnels in my pain cave in my brain.
Right. You actually visualize that?
Yeah. I'm super visual.
Yeah. I like that. It makes it very visceral and like real. If you
Literally Simone the
It's
Digger.
not just a mantra, and mantras are great. I'm sure you have mantras, but actually creating that three-dimensional image in your mind.
Yeah. Yeah, and
A
I mean,
real-
it's just telling myself a different story about that place where it hurt so bad. You know, where before it was like
A real represented
surviving it,
space.
and now it's like,
Fantastic.
this is so cool, we made it here, and now
we get to do it.
work.
Now we get to do it.
It's funny. I've been doing this podcast thing for a couple of years at this point, and I've had a lot of people on who have done hard things, and then I have psychologists and psychiatrists and mindset experts, and everybody kind of comes to the table and they're like, this is how you do it. And it's like step 1, 2, 3. And like when your mind does this, and you're just like, well, I just, like you just like, it's very refreshing because what it does is it dispels this myth that it has to be complicated or that there
You just
is a
move
right
forward.
or a wrong way. Like
You
you're
find
just
the pain, you push on it.
embracing life in all its colors and have figured out this thing that works for you. But it's welcoming to people because you're saying like, look, I'm doing this, you can do this too. Like there's a what's the right word? Welcoming, to repeat myself, I think is what it is. Like you're creating space for other people to see greater possibility in themselves because of that relatability.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
That's very kind.
Yeah, no, I think it's powerful. It's really powerful. In the equation of mind versus body, like how do you think about that? Like how much of it is physical prowess versus mental grit?
It's both for sure, and I think in an ultra, it trades back and forth between the two. So like maybe for a while, your physical has to pull more of the weight because it can. And then if that's giving out, maybe the mental takes over for a while. So I think they tag each other out back and forth where you need them for sure. Like physically, it's hard to run this far, but mentally, you can like move your feet much farther than you think.
Right. Yeah. Ultimately, I think
Shuffle forward.
the differentiator is in the mental game, because everybody, especially at the elite level, is training really hard. And there's only so much training that you can do before you get injured or you overtrain, right? So when you toe the line at the starting line, you can be assured that everybody who's a threat to your, dominance has put in the work that you've put in, right? So
they're all ready.
The person who's going to win, it's going to come down to who's going to crack mentally when the tough gets going.
Yeah. Yeah, and like who can, problem solve efficiently,
Finish my
or
last vitamin.
not
Now
let
I've got to go
problems
buy
that
some
come up
more.
ruffle their
It's a good
feathers
problem to
too
have.
much. I think that's huge in ultras.
Yeah, just being able to maintain that positive disposition.
Yeah.
Rather than, oh no, this is.
All right, I'm going to actually skip through this up to Goggins.
And many more. But perhaps
Here we are.
Mastering
Goggly
mindset
boy.
begins with expanding your sense of personal possibility. That is the hidden key that unlocks reservoirs of potential and ultimately sets you on the path to becoming the best version of who you are. I can think of no better exemplar of this truth than the mighty one himself, David Goggins. Often referred to as the toughest athlete on the planet, David is the only member of the U.S. Armed Forces to have completed SEAL training, including 3 Hell Weeks, in addition to the U.S. Army Ranger School and Air Force Tactical Air Controller training. His remarkable feats of strength include finishing near the top at dozens of the world's most grueling endurance races, including the Hurt 100, the Leadville 100, the Moab 240, Western States, and many more. But perhaps
Severe
David's
athlete.
greatest accomplishment is that throughout his life, he has faced and overcome a succession of just seemingly insurmountable obstacles to become the man he is today. Obstacles like asthma, sickle cell anemia, psychological and physical abuse, obesity, and even a congenital heart defect that often left him competing and winning on a mere fraction of his actual physical capabilities. All of which is, of course, chronicled in his fascinating memoir, Can't Hurt Me. Here is David Goggins.
So think
It's
about
shiny.
this. I put
It's
everything
very-
on
very
David
pretty
Goggins
shiny.
to be a Navy SEAL.
David fucking Goggins.
It's like going to the crap table with your last $1,000. And you say, you know what? I'm going to put everything on this fucking, on black. And hopefully I win. If not, I'm broke. I put my whole life, a guy that was scared of the fucking water, a guy that could fucking taught himself how to read and write, on being one of the hardest motherfuckers on the planet. Think about that shit. A guy that came from nothing. I put my whole life, and I'm going to go out here and put everything on David fucking Goggins to be a Navy SEAL. Not to go be a fucking, Boy Scout or some shit. A Navy SEAL. And I look at that, and I did all this shit just to get the opportunity to succeed. That's what people don't fucking understand, man.
You don't
If people
fucking
see
get
the end result.
He's so cool.
I remember
He's
that
so
guy
cool.
saying, my God, man, I can't believe what the fuck I've just done. I put everything, ruin relationships, ruin this, ruin that, put everything on. In fact, I have to become someone in this world, or I'm no good for anybody.
Where does that come from? Where did that compulsion,
Hell.
that drive?
It comes from
It comes
hell.
from a disgusting place of
Hell.
not being fulfilled in your life.
Living
of
in
afraid
hell
of
on
dying,
earth.
having never accomplished anything.
Yep.
That's a fear that some people run away from, that people don't want to face.
Yep.
When you have a real fear of dying and being just another person.
Nobody.
That I live to pay the bills. I made $1,000 a month. This is my life. I spray for cockroaches, man. If that makes you feel good, that's great. It didn't make me feel good.
Mm-mm.
I wanted to, the first time in my life, after 26 years, it was 24,
Content.
25, whatever it was, I wanted to feel good about myself. And that was the ticket for it.
Yeah, I mean, you have this huge reservoir, this capacity to leverage pain and circumstance
Turned into strength
to drive change within yourself.
Right.
To be able to not be a victim, but to look at pain as your friend, as a catalyst for growth.
And I think there's a lot of people out there. Look, if you're in enough pain, that's going to move the needle for you. There's a lot of people out there that are in just enough pain where they're willing to just settle for what they have because they're not in enough pain to change.
Right.
And the fear of change outweighs the pain of their daily existence.
You know, the one gift I have, with all that being said, what you just said there, is I have the ability to see the end before the beginning begins.
Future
and
me.
what that means is I know that to get to the very end, I can see it right now. So before I went to Buds and I was losing all this fucking weight and shit, I saw myself walking across the fucking stage at 191 fucking pounds. 'Cause that's what I had to get to get into the door. I saw myself 6 months, a year later, whatever's going to take me to do it. I saw myself walking across that stage, getting that fucking certificate of graduation from Buds. And I was able to be there at 300 fucking pounds.
So here's what's insane. I think he actually saw it. I think when he says I saw it, I actually believe him. It's crazy. You look into this man's eyes. There's no guile there. There's no bullshit. I actually believe him. I actually think that he literally, and I've used this phrase a couple of times for different people for different reasons. I think that David Goggins literally saw through time and space and saw a potential future self, and he chose it. I think that's literally what happened. That he got so stressed and so distraught that he was able to see through reality a little bit and see himself dead, right? Which you can find pretty fast if you want to go looking for it. Yourself as a dead person, you just have to go down any of the paths. You know, all you have to do is go back through your life, any of the moments where you almost stepped out into traffic. Or moments where somebody grabbed you and pulled you back before you stepped out into traffic, or before you like fell off of something, or, you know, you step on a step and it breaks underneath you, and 1 inch further, 1 inch different, 1 moment later, one instant, you would be just dead. Really think about that moment, because that was a moment where if we look at your life as branching pathways and timelines, a whole tree just died there. All of the points where you 50-50'd into death in that moment are gone. You can find those dead moments all the time. But what he did was he got so stressed and so sickened by himself that he actually, I think, was able to see a real one. A pathway far down the line where he could be. And he chose it and he started moving toward it. Incredible. Fucking incredible.
And that feeling that I was nowhere near that fucking feeling, I was able to put myself there 1,000,000 times every fucking day. And that feeling of like, my God, that is going to feel fucking amazing. That's what made me suffer. That's what allowed the pain to be real and say, this is worth it. I want to feel
worth it. I've chosen
this fucking next 18 months. It took me 18 fucking months to finally become a Navy SEAL, to finally, just get through Buds. 18 months. It's 6 months. It took me 18.
Took him 3 times.
That's what woke me up every fucking morning was, I'm going to put myself through this much fucking pain and suffering for a few seconds.
A moment.
That's all it is. A few seconds of joy. And it's so fucking worth it, man. That's what people don't get. So I'm able to put myself at the finish line, even though I have no finish line, but at the finish line of an event before I even start the motherfucker to say, how are you?
I have no finish line. I'm always running.
Well, visualization is one of the challenges. And part of that is not just visualizing success or living in the reality of achieving what you're setting out to achieve, but also visualizing how you're going to navigate all the obstacles that are going to get thrown in your path.
Right. Visualizing is my biggest tool.
Parallel universes with infinite versions.
That's why
I believe it.
I've been able to put myself in cold water, put myself in a 100-mile race millions of times before I've done it. And I'm able to go through the race and see how I'm going to feel.
You know what the pain will be.
Almost to the exact feeling.
Right. So when it comes up, it's no surprise.
You're ready.
It's no surprise. I've already done this 1,000,000 times.
You know what's coming.
And that's the one thing I practice and practice and practice and practice overnight. But also, the most important thing is I practice that feeling of accomplishment.
Getting there.
I'm going to have when it's all said and done with.
The crazy thing about the ASVAB story is that in addition to having to pass this test and get that 50, you also had to lose 100 pounds in like 30 days or some crazy short period of time?
It was less than 3 months.
Right. Okay, 3 months. So, but you compartmentalize these two tasks and say, look, the first thing I got to do is I got to pass this test because the weight doesn't matter if I don't get that 50. And you shelved or put off losing the weight to focus on the academic end of it until
Right.
you completed that hurdle, and then you looked at the weight stuff.
I'm like that now
And
to
you
this
still
day.
got it done.
This is a really great idea. Problems are too big for you to fight. Dragons are too big for you to fight. Chop them up into pieces and fight each individual piece.
Yeah,
But it's like being focused on one thing at a time.
I have to be very present in everything I do. Like right now, I'm with Rich Roll. I'm not thinking about shit, but Rich Roll. And what the fuck's coming out of your mouth right now? That's what gives me a huge advantage in life, especially today in this
Right
day
here,
and age.
right
with
now.
So much shit going so fast, and everybody wants yourself in so many situations to get out of it. Because those headphones we listen to, those phones that we Google to find information, there's so many situations in my life where that shit's not going to help me. It's not going to help me.
And you're able to
Can't
just
help you run further.
turn that off.
So fast, because I know what's helped me. None of that stuff's ever helped me. None of that stuff's ever helped me. What has helped me has been me alone, getting my shit together and being accountable for who I'm not and who I want to be. It's the only thing that's helped me.
Sorry, I want to hear that again really quickly.
Yourself, how you can focus, how you can drive, how you can put yourself in so many situations to get out of it. Because those headphones we listen to, those phones that we Google to find information, there's so many situations in my life where that shit's not going to help me.
No.
It's not going to help me.
And you're able to just turn that off.
So fast, because I know what's helped me. None of that stuff's ever helped me. None of that stuff's ever helped me. What has helped me has been me alone, getting my shit together and being accountable for who I'm not and who I want to be. It's the only thing that's helped me.
So, as we head to the end of today's stream, because we are heading toward that direction, because I have things that I have to do. And part of them are me getting my shit together and being accountable for who I'm not. Who are you not that you need to be? Who are you not that you need to be? Are you strong? Are you resilient? Are you capable? Probably not. Probably not, because most people in the world aren't. Could you be? You could. That is the secret, isn't it? Is that yes, actually, you could be capable. And I mean, really, truly capable. Really, truly strong. Potent. Powerful. You could be. How? Asking that question is a good start. Working toward things that are difficult is a good start. Actively engaging in conflict is a good start. Start. It doesn't even have to be a good start. It just has to be a start. So, start. And I'm going to take my own advice and stop this stream, which has been, in a way, a start. I threw myself into Streamlabs, into figuring out all this shit and the media share and the ideas and all the possibilities and all the options, and I fucked it up a bunch, and it was miserable at portions of it, and I don't care, and I did it anyway. And that was a start, too. But it's also something that I'm holding on to because there are physical, real-world things that I have to do that are part of my start. And so I'm going to go, and I'm going to start my day for real. My day's been underway for hours, but I'm going to start going. So thanks for watching. I appreciate y'all. Even those of you that I've been irritable with, I apologize for that. I've been a bit antsy today. VLR, if you end up seeing this, thank you so much for the help with the Streamlabs setup. Kikuri, I know that I was snappy at you repeatedly throughout the stream today. I hope that doesn't come off the wrong way. But well, I'm going to be snappy with you. And I'm going to be snappy about things that I believe in. And I'll try to manage it, but for now, thanks so much for watching, everybody. All four of you, all few of you. Yeah, go do your stuff too, including the sleep. Sleep is an important part of all of the things, and it's the necessary recycling in order to get the upcycling going.